Let's go to the word.
Please turn to Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision.
Here the scripture says, where there is no vision. Now, when he says vision here, he means a revelatory word with a preceding image. What I mean here is that he's speaking about a word that produces an image in your soul. There are times and seasons in your life where that God shows us visions. It means even while we are awake a lot of times, we can see what we desire and we can see what God has called us into. It means that when you're going through some of the most difficult times in your life, the only thing that will sustain you is a vision. If you don't have a vision to see the goodness of God, you will often perish. Why? Because if you don't see any way out, it will bring automatic depression. The number one cause of a depression is not a Prozac deficiency. The number one cause of depression is a vision deficiency. It means that I'm getting up every day, I'm going to this job, I'm dealing with people who don't really want me there. I'm coming home and I don't know if they want me there. I'm going here and I'm going, and I don't see a way out. If you don't see a way out of your situation, it will cause depression. You must be able to see the goodness of God. You must be able to see that at some point your life will be expressing the nature of God. That's why it's important that you keep before your eyes a positive vision. If you are living in a situation where that is not where you want to live, you must keep a picture of where you're going. If you're living in a place and you know that God has called you into much better living, you should drive through that neighborhood and act like you're going home. Why? Because if you just drive through that neighborhood long enough and you pause at a house and you put your signal light on like you're going into it, something starts happening inside your soul. And even though you might have to go back to a one-room apartment for that time, at least your soul has visited where you're going. Now, a lot of people will call you special, but if you're going to really receive what God has for you, you can't care what somebody's saying about you. I can tell you that before I got the house that we living in now, I went through doors and windows to get in them, and I just see the house was vacant now. Nobody was staying in the house. I just want to clarify that. The house was vacant and it was for sale. Now, I'm not telling you to go and get inside somebody's house and tell, well, the bishop said that. No. This was a house that was for sale. what I did is that I made my soul comfortable so that my circumstance would open up and so that my feet will at someday own that place. See, if you're living with the kind of mentality that says, I don't want to get my hopes up. See, that's the wrong mentality right there, wrong answer. You've got to visit the place where you're going. You've got to become comfortable there. Your soul has got to have an impression of what it feels like to be a resident there. It's the same way it is with living debt-free. How would you act if every month all you had was your tithe and your offering? Somebody say glory. See, because when you really have money, you will pay stuff off for the whole year. You don't want to be harassed by a little light bill. So you send them a couple $1,000 in January, and you just said you just handled it. That's just it for all year. And see, you don't have to keep dealing with little stuff every month. But something inside of you must make a decision that where I am now, I'm not going to be there at the end of this year. I'm going to take progressive steps so that I can move into my blessed place. He says, where there is no vision,
the people perish.
The people live beneath their standard. Where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. Where there is no vision, the people run wild. Where there is no vision, the people live outside of God's best. Read.
But he that keepeth the
law of vision. If you keep the law of vision, happy is he. It means that if you live in the land of vision, the circumstance can't hold you anymore. Have you ever seen a person who just came in singing and they left singing? Well, they skipped around and you could not understand what it was that gave them any peace. It's because they were living in another place. And a lot of us have made fun of dreamers, but dreamers are rarely depressed. Well, dreamers are happy. Why? Because they are living by the law of vision. See, the law of vision says that what God has said about me is my reality and not what I experience. Now this was the last full week of the fast was this past week. And it was the most difficult week in that there were so many opportunities for me to lose my focus. And see, when you're in the midst of really gaining in acceleration, what the enemy will do, all he can do was to pull you out of the spirit realm. But see, I made up my mind. I'm not coming out of the land of vision. I'm not getting into an argument with you. I'm not going to let you speak doubt and unbelief into my soul. I'm not going to allow